I wanted to see if it was possible to win a game of Pokemon Pocket without dealing any damage. And I don't just mean ending the game without dealing damage, I mean never in the entire battle am I allowed to deal even a single point of damage to my opponent. Also, we're going to eliminate any win condition that lets me win on a cheap technicality. Like, for example, my opponent's not allowed to surrender, timeout, or disconnect. If any of that happens, I need to restart and fight someone else. Plus, it can't be a private match. I legitimately have to defeat a complete stranger in random queue without dealing damage. This is one of the most intense challenges I've ever faced, and will also require me to use insane strategies and cards that are often ignored like Pokedex, Caterpie, and Porygon. But first, is this even possible? Can this even be done? Let's look at the win conditions in Pokemon Pocket. First of all, you can win by getting 3 or more prize points. You get a prize point every time you knock out one of your opponent's regular Pokemon, and you get 2 prize points every time you knock out one of their EX Pokemon. However, there's really no way for me to do this without dealing damage to the Pokemon, or alternatively, having them deal damage to themselves, which I guess is technically possible, but unlikely. With these limitations, we need to eliminate that possibility as it won't let us complete this challenge. The only other way to win in Pokemon Pocket is by making sure that our opponent has no Pokemon anywhere on their side of the field, not in their bench and not in the active slot. This is usually impossible to achieve without dealing damage. There is, however, one Pokemon that can maybe make this happen with a little clever strategy. Aerodactyl. Wait, I know what you're thinking. Plenty of YouTubers have used Aerodactyl. There's nothing special about that. Heck, I've used Aerodactyl. I, the viewer watching this video, have used many an Aerodactyl. What is so hard about this challenge? Remember, I'm not just using Aerodactyl to win the game. Aerodactyl has to be the only thing ever allowed to remove Pokemon from the field. I will automatically lose if my opponent is able to draw their entire deck, because every Pokemon I shove back into their deck will just get immediately redrawn by them and put back onto the bench on their next turn. I also immediately lose if my opponent gets any decent Pokemon with energy on it, as they can KO my Aerodactyl, and just to make this extra fun, I can only use one Aerodactyl. That's not a consequence of this challenge so much as a consequence of me being free to play, and I only have one. That's fine, we can still make this work. So I don't just need to win the game with Aerodactyl, I need to win the game with Aerodactyl as the only Pokemon that can really attack in any sense of the word, and I realistically have to win the game within the first few turns, or it will become impossible for me to do so. And to give ourselves the best chance of making this happen, let's take a look at our strategy. So Aerodactyl is a Stage 1 fossil Pokemon. Being a fossil Pokemon is really bad, because it means that there is no way to draw Aerodactyl's precursor card, the Amber Fossil, which we have to put on the field before playing Aerodactyl. Let me explain. If I wanted a Charmander, I could draw a Charmander, or I could use the Pokeball card to summon a Charmander from my deck. Also, I'd be guaranteed to start with at least one basic Pokemon at the start of the game, which could be that Charmander. But since Amber Fossil does not count as a basic Pokemon until you play it on the field, it's a trainer card, none of this works. I will never automatically start with an Amber Fossil, I would have to get lucky, and the Pokeball trainer card will not summon an Amber Fossil to my hand. I literally just have to draw it, and I literally just have to draw the Aerodactyl. To make matters worse, I can't evolve the Amber Fossil into an Aerodactyl the turn I play it. I need to wait at least one turn, and Aerodactyl requires 2 energy to use its move. So this means even if I get ridiculously lucky and get both the Amber Fossil and Aerodactyl in my starting hand, and remember, I only have one Aerodactyl to make this extra challenging, I could at best, play the Amber Fossil on turn 2, attach an energy to it, evolve it into Aerodactyl on turn 4, attach a second energy to it, and then use some kind of shenanigans to retreat whatever basic Pokemon I have into the Aerodactyl. Turn 4 is the absolute earliest I could theoretically attack with the Aerodactyl. There's no way for me to do it faster, and I'd have to get crazy lucky for all of this to happen. Not only that, but this strategy will only realistically work if my opponent has gotten unlucky and only has one Pokemon that they can play in the active slot. Otherwise, even if Aerodactyl attacks, and even if I'm lucky enough to roll heads, they'll still survive by switching their benched Pokemon into the active slot, and technically I haven't removed all their Pokemon from the field. What are even the odds of all of this going my way? What are the odds of this actually happening? I've got to say they're not great, but I believe that's what makes this challenge worth doing. I'm convinced that I can actually win a real game of Pokemon Pocket against a stranger without dealing any damage at all. And to give myself the best possible chance of this happening, we are going to use some sneaky tactics. So to fill my deck, I need a full 20 cards. One will be Aerodactyl, 2 will be Amber Fossils, and the remaining 17 cards need to help me get Aerodactyl as soon as possible in order to win. Obviously, I'm going to want the X-Speed cards, because they will help me retreat an active Pokemon into Aerodactyl without having to pay an energy cost. This will let me do my whole combo one turn faster, and so they're super useful. Now, you have to have basic Pokemon of some kind in your deck. So I need to look at basic Pokemon that can either retreat really well into Aerodactyl or help me draw cards. Meowth is one of the first Pokemon that come to mind, but unfortunately, even though Meowth would help me draw cards, it does 10 damage, and using its attack would be cheating, so I don't want Meowth. The next possibility is Caterpie, an adorable little card that can summon Leaf Pokemon into my hand. Now I know what you're thinking, Aerodactyl is not a Leaf Pokemon. You're right, but by summoning Leaf Pokemon into my hand from my deck, it means there are less cards in my deck, and so it's more likely that I'll draw the Aerodactyl next turn. Caterpie is pretty good. We also have Nidoran Female, which has the option of summoning a Nidoran Male into my hand. This is a more restrictive version of Caterpie. Rather than summoning any possible Pokemon of a certain type, it has to be Nidoran Male. And if I put a Nidoran Male in my deck, there's a chance it could be one of the active Pokemon I get at the start of the game, which would really mess me up, because Nidoran Male does not have a cool special ability that could help me out. So I probably want to avoid Nidoran Female. Another Pokemon I wanted to consider was Abra. Abra's attack does not do any damage. Instead, it teleports, switching with one of my benched Pokemon. This would allow me to switch Abra for my Aerodactyl for free. Wait, no, that's not true. Teleport uses 1 energy, so it's basically the same as retreating. I guess Abra could be kind of cool in case I'm locked from retreating for some reason and can still attack, but ultimately, I think Caterpie is probably the best possible option to help me draw as quickly as possible. Well, we've looked at a lot of different basic Pokemon that might help me draw my Aerodactyl more quickly, directly or mostly indirectly, or retreat it in the case of Abra. We also need to look at Pokemon that could tell me whether or not I'm going to win or lose more quickly. Wait, what? I mean, think about it, a lot of this strategy is luck dependent. If it's impossible for me to win the challenge, I'll probably want to surrender and move on to the next match. So, Pokemon that can tell me if I'm going to win or lose would be really useful to help me cycle through matches more quickly. In that case, Porygon is actually an amazing card. Its ability Data Scan will allow me to look at the top card of my deck, and it only has a 1 energy retreat cost, making it about the same as anything else I could put on the field. For this reason, I'll definitely want some Porygon in my deck. Even if I can only put them on the bench, they'll help me look at the top card of my deck and help me make a decision whether or not I can possibly even win more quickly. I might fill up my deck with other plant-based cards that are not basic Pokemon, Probably the evolved forms of Caterpie, just to have things that Caterpie can draw that are leaf types to clutter out my deck. Now that we have the basic Pokemon, the Aerodactyl, and the fossils, we'll need to talk about trainer cards, and there's a few trainer cards that could really help. Red card could make my opponent have less cards in their hand. That could be really useful for trying to stop them from getting more basic Pokemon. Though I'll have to be a little careful, I don't want to accidentally give them basic Pokemon, but it's something we can consider possibly using. What I really like is the Pokeball card, because that is a card that will let me draw another card from my deck. We'll probably just be drawing Caterpies and Porygons, but that's okay, as it'll help my next draw be more likely to be the Aerodactyl I need. Also, the Pokedex card is generally useless, but in this particular challenge, it's actually pretty good. By looking at the top 3 cards of my deck, I can see if Aerodactyl is going to be in there or not. And that could tell me whether or not I should use the Pokeball card to randomize my deck and give myself a better chance of finding Aerodactyl. That's right, by combining the Pokedex with the Pokeball card, I can actually control what card I'm likely to draw to give myself a much better chance of drawing the Aerodactyl I need. And this will also combine well with Porygon. Are you starting to see how everything is coming together now? I will also mention that Caterpie's ability, by putting a random leaf Pokemon into my hand, will also shuffle my deck. And so, as a result, I have tons of ways to reset my deck if I see that Aerodactyl is nowhere to be found. How crazy is this strategy becoming? We can fill out the rest of the deck with random trainer cards, like potions and whatnot, possibly some Sabrinas to mess with our opponent and stall a little bit, in case they have a powerful Pokemon we want to bring out or get rid of or not fight right now. And I think we're more or less good to go. Let's try this strategy and see if it works. And of course, I stream the whole thing live, but for this video, I'm only going to show you key clips, showing the most important parts of the challenge. So I initially thought that the best thing to do would be to enter the beginner queue. This would later turn out to be a mistake, but for now, I don't know, I just thought beginner would make the challenge easier. I jumped into my first game, and I immediately realized that I had the chance to showcase one of my cool combos. And we'll play Professor Oak, because there's no point in using Pokedex right now. I'm just going to draw 2 no matter what happens. Okay, but I got one of the... Oh, this is great. I got the combo. Oh, this is so cool. All right, you're going to see next turn what happens. Next turn, I'll show you what happens. This is awesome. All right, so since I went first, I can't play any energy. I can't attack yet. That's fine. But I have my I want to draw Aerodactyl combo. This is going to be fun. Oh, I'm so excited I get to do this on the first turn. I worked really hard on thinking up this strategy. All right, they're going to smack Caterpie in the face. That's fine. Here we go. Metapod. Ha ha ha. I actually don't want to evolve. Okay. Okay, so here's how the strategy works. First, I'm going to use Pokedex. If I'm about to get Aerodactyl, I don't reset. If I'm not going to get Aerodactyl, I use Pokeball, go for a reset, and then use Professor Oak to draw the new cards. Okay, yeah, so none of these are Aerodactyl. That's no good. So I'm going to use Pokeball to shuffle my deck, basically. I draw another Caterpie, my deck shuffles, and now I use Professor Oak, and hopefully draw the Aerodactyl. Come on. Next speed and next speed. Ah, dang it! That was bad luck. But you see the idea. The idea is that I have the best possible chance of drawing Aerodactyl when I don't have Aerodactyl. And we're going to try again. Here we go. Attempt number 2. Does Caterpie also reshuffle? Yeah, Caterpie also reshuffles. Now you're getting it, Sparky. This entire deck is designed to draw 1 card and 1 card only. Aerodactyl. Absolutely everything I'm doing is just to draw Aerodactyl. Now we Pokedex to try to see if we should shuffle or not. Another Old Amber. Yeah, no, this is garbage. Okay, so we reshuffle. I'm going to use Pokeball to force a shuffle. I got Caterpie, got the shuffle. This strategy is classic in Magic the Gathering. That's good to know. I've reinvented a Magic the Gathering strat. Oh, no! They're getting a bunch of basic Pokemon. Yeah, this might be a little hard. Cubone. Oh, and Mindfu. Alright, this might be botched. Yeah, okay. I think we gotta surrender here. I think we gotta surrender. It's just not happening. Attempt 3! There's a lot of luck involved, which is why I've... Oh, going second. That's good. I think going second gives me the fastest possible timing to summon Aerodactyl. Right, obligatory Caterpie. They have a Farfetch starting. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's just one Pokemon. Ah, they got Pokeball, though. You see, that's another thing. I need Aerodactyl, and I need them not to get a bunch of Pokemon for the bench. And they're getting all their draw cards. It's really tough to enter a situation where you can win like this. Oof. 2 Pokemon on the field. 3. I don't know. I don't know if this is possible. It is. Alright. Run number 3 also scuffed. Run number 3 also scuffed. Run number 4. Let's go. How many attempts do you think this is going to take before I can pull it off? Alright, let me see. Oh, we have Aerodactyl, but no Old Amber? And I'm going first. Alright. Alright. Ooh, that's... It's a lot of benched Pokemon. It's quite a lot. And I can't even red card them, it wouldn't make sense. I'm gonna throw a Pokeball just to draw. That'll give me a Caterpie, take it out of the deck, reshuffle the deck. But I don't... Yeah, without Old Amber, I can't do anything. What I draw almost doesn't even matter anymore. Just put more energy on Aerodactyl, and Primeval Wing Beat. Okay. Now, supposedly there's a trick where you go like bam, and it's automatically heads. I don't know if it's true, but it worked that time. We'll see if it keeps working. I'm actually curious, did that reshuffle Golduck too? Yeah, so it reshuffled Psyduck and Golduck. So in theory, they could draw Golduck and be unable to play it until they get Psyduck. Or they could just keep drawing more basic Pokemon forever and use Misty to hyper-empower them. Okay, I think this one is scuffed. But we're definitely seeing the power of this, right? It is possible. It is possible to get a quick Aerodactyl. It is possible to get heads. I just need to do all this before my opponent can fill their bench with tons of Pokemon. After game number 4, I realized that this was possible, but I would definitely have to win quickly before my opponent could fill their bench with lots of Pokemon. I decided to try to surrender more often and earlier in the game. The second I realized that it was too late, I needed to quickly concede and move on to the next one. Surely, eventually, I would get an early Aerodactyl and win. Right? And my opponent has a full bench. Alright, yeah, we're giving up. Good game. Over the next few turns, or if they get another Pokemon to put on the bench, I gotta surrender. Yeah, we're done. Alright, next attempt. Alright, yeah. Yeah, now we gotta surrender. Yeah, Kangaskhan, that's fine. That's fine. Kangaskhan means it's a stall deck, which is good for me. Okay. Let's Pokedex this. See what we get. Ugh. Yeah, the problem is without Old Amber. Yeah, this just isn't happening. Next. Go on to the next one. And that's the beauty of this deck, right? Since I knew it was going to take a bunch of tries, I wanted to know when I'm going to fail as quickly as possible, so that I could quickly move on to the next attempt. And that's one of the other reasons that Pokedex is pretty good. Because I'm like, I have enough shiny Charmanders. Ooh! Ooh, okay. Okay, this is good. This is good. And they've only got one basic. And it's Lapras. Okay. Maybe. Attempt 9? Attempt 9? Oh, alright. Hold on. Double Old Amber. I don't want Professor Oak because I don't want to aggro a red card here. Because I've got Aerodactyl. If only we were going second. If we were going second, this would be perfect, because I'd already have an energy. But because we're going first, they're going to have an extra turn to put more stuff on the bench. Okay, Lapras is the tank. They're probably going for like a Goober Blastoise. Let's just Pokedex this, show them I'm a complete noob. Hey, I'm a noob. See, I'm using Pokedex. There's nothing to fear. Okay, good. I get EX speed in like 2 draws. Wish I could get it faster. I could Professor Oak it. Perfect. Perfect. So I could Aerodactyl next turn. This is 2 retreat cost, so I don't want to evolve. Okay. This is good. This is good. This is good. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Whatever happens, the problem is if I Professor Oak it, there's a chance Blastoise could come in on Aerodactyl, so I have to be careful with that. Because I can't Sabrina here. But I think it's still worth doing. Summon Aerodactyl. Give it energy. Don't red card? Professor Oak, hold on. Maybe I should red card. How much damage does Blastoise do with 3 energy? I don't think it's enough. Alright, I'm not gonna red card. I'm not gonna red card. We're just going in. We're going in. Here we go. Now the second part of the RNG challenge. Alright, I'm supposedly, again, if you do that, it's always heads. It's working so far. I don't know if this trick is legit or not or what, but we're 2 for 2. Okay. Don't auto-kill me with Blastoise. Don't auto-kill me with Blastoise. Ugh. Maybe I should have red carded. I could add hand scope so I could see what's in their hand. Maybe I should add... No! Oh, they got Starmie. Frick. Frick. And it's Blastoise. That's pretty bad. Alright, we will live this, right? No, we won't. No, we're just dead. Okay. My decision not to red card turned out to be a mistake. I was trying to prevent giving my opponent more basic Pokemon they could put on the bench. It was a good idea, but unfortunately, my opponent will eventually get Blastoise and knock out my Aerodactyl because I didn't red card here. Honestly though, even if I had red carded, I probably still would have lost because legitimately I would have given them more basic Pokemon. This put me in a tough position where I decided that maybe I need to make some changes to my deck in order to increase my chances. One of the big things I realized is that Caterpie does not work as well as I thought. The main reason being that as soon as I have enough energy to both summon Aerodactyl and use Caterpie's ability, I should already be using Aerodactyl. And if I don't have Aerodactyl yet, it's too late and I've already lost. My opponent has too many benched Pokemon. So, logically, I will never ever use Caterpie's ability. And for this reason, filling my deck with a bunch of plant Pokemon makes no sense. I decided to add more Pokemon to help me view my opponent's hand, to spy any more Blastoists coming to take me out, and this let me play the noob card Hand Scope, which never gets any use in competitive PvP, so that was pretty fun. Let's go attempt number 10. We won for no apparent reason whatsoever. That was funny. But according to the rules, that was a loss, so this is attempt 11. That's another thing, if the opponent surrenders right before we win, that will hurt me very much. I hope that doesn't happen. Are we gonna get it anytime soon? Not really. That's GG. Hopefully you have no basic Pokemon. Ooh, that's rather unfortunate for me. Oh, this is what it's like being a real streamer. It is not easy. And we've only come close once. If the second one is Articuno, it's not. I was hoping for an Articuno 18 deck. Still. Oh, no, Krabby. Professor. Okay, yeah, no, it is not an Articuno 18 deck. This is a legit water deck. After another string of losses in which I had no chance of winning, I realized that I had never added Porygon to the deck. So with a quick addition of Porygon, I felt a little bit better. Also, at this point, I realized that maybe the beginner queue wasn't really a good idea. One thing I might want to do is try entering a different queue. Part of the problem is if I do the event queue, everyone's trying to get to 45 wins if they're not there already. So they're just going to surrender the second it looks like they're losing. I could do the pro queue. I could try entering the pro queue, see if anyone else is like doing something gimmicky, and maybe they don't have enough basics. Oh, it's Aerodactyl. You know, we got Aerodactyl. We got some draws. We got a hand scope. This isn't bad. They only put one card down. Yo! Oh, okay. Kogadek? Kogadek. Kogadeks are weird. Because they actually want to return. But still. Double Pokeball. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like double Pokeball. Grimer. Blech. And coughing. Alright, that's a lot of work that Aerodactyl would have to do. I don't know about this. Alright, alright. I think I gotta concede here. I think I have to admit defeat. There's no way I'm gonna Aerodactyl all of those Pokemon. I am going to try, for attempt 15, to identify as trading card game player and see if I could fight opponents that have fewer basic Pokemon. I want to see if I can fight opponents that have fewer basic Pokemon. I'm not even gonna try. We're not gonna out Aerodactyl a Pikachu deck. That is not possible. Hopefully we wake up. If we don't wake up, I don't know if this is possible. Oh, we got it. All right. All right. This is critical. Here we go. Let's begin. Let's begin our ridiculous assault. Yeah, trick didn't work. And we gotta surrender. They've just got too many Pokemon. I should have surrendered the second they put 3 on the bench. But I think entering the more challenging queue, ironically, was the right decision. The trainers are weirder here. It's like they know they're good, so rather than trying to win, they're trying weird stuff, like Snom Wigglytuff. I think that was a full sleep deck. I just need to fight someone who gets stuck with one basic Pokemon and have Aerodactyl when it happens. Okay, double Sabrina, no draw. This is an awful, awful hand for me. I got Sabrina, EX speeds. Old Amber? Nope. GG. I didn't think it would take this many tries. I honestly was like, I'm gonna be done with this in like 20 minutes and not know what else to do. I didn't think it would be this hard. Good. We're going second. We have Old Amber. Okay. And we've got some EX retreats. EX retreat. This is good. This is good. It's Mewtwo. It's a Mewtwo deck. Mewtwo decks sometimes get stuck with one basic Pokemon for a while. And it's a special weird Mewtwo deck that throws Gengar in the back. So, sadly, we must concede. As the attempts kept ticking on, I was starting to have doubts if this was even possible. So many things had to happen for this to work. I had to get the right hand, my opponent had to get the wrong hand, my opponent had to have the right deck to have the wrong hand, and Aerodactyl would have to get heads every single time. Even with all of the strategies I was using to optimize this, was this possible? And then I had this run. The infamous number 19 run. Alright, they've got 2 Pokemon, double Bulbasaur. It could be a just Bulbasaur deck, which means there's only 2 targets I need to worry about. Alright, hold on. We're going to use Porygon's ability, data scan the next card. It is not what I want. So, we're going to Pokeball this. That'll give me Caterpie and reshuffle the deck. Might as well play Caterpie. Then we're going to use Professor Oak. Give me the fossil. Fossil? Fossil? Well, could be worse. Let's hand scope this. Actually, I want to save that. I want to save that combo. Alright, we'll end our turn there. We'll end our turn there. Strictly speaking, since I went first, I do have one more turn to try stuff. And if it's only a double Bulbasaur deck, then I no longer care how long the game goes. But if they have anything else, then I need to stop. They're red carding me. I had to cut the audio out here because I was talking to someone on stream and it just didn't make any sense out of context, but pay attention to what I just got red carded into. Ooh. Alright, we got Old Amber. We've got Old Amber and Aerodactyl. Wow! That red card was amazing. We got everything we wanted. Oh my goodness, best red card ever! Best red card ever, and we're gonna get a red card soon. Nice. Okay, hold on a minute. I got 12 cards left. I'm gonna play Pokedex so that I only have one card in my hand. The logic being that it's very unlikely that they red card me, because why would you red card someone with one card in their hand? You're giving them two cards. Right? And I'm clearly a noob. I'm playing with Caterpies and Porygons and Fossils. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Why would you red card me? You wouldn't, right? Oh, they're gonna Giovanni. This is great! This is great! They're Giovanniing to take the Porygon down faster. I can bring in my Amber Fossil and immediately Aerodactyl this. Attempt number 19 could be the one. Here we go. Alright, I've got red card, but I don't know what's in their hand. Since they've been very aggressive using cards, I'm going to assume it's all useless trainer cards, and I'm not going to do anything. You fool, you've activated a trap card. Exactly. But we need the trap card to roll heads. Come on, heads. Please. Yes! Yes! Oh my goodness, we're so close. We're so close. We're so close, we're so close, we're so close. Just don't draw another basic Pokemon. Just don't draw another basic Pokemon. I don't care if you evolve that thing to Ivysaur. Okay. Okay. The second they end turn, I'm going to start attacking because I'm afraid they're going to surrender. Sabrina? That's fine. That's fine. I have an anti-Sabrina strat. I have a perfect anti-Sabrina strat. Here we go. Here we go. Please don't surrender. Please don't surrender. Fair play. Come on. Come on. It's a coin flip. It's not for sure. It's not for sure. It's a coin flip. There's still plenty of ways you can win. Don't surrender. Please don't surrender. Oh no, I don't like this. I don't like this. They're running on time. Don't surrender. Don't surrender. I'm begging you. Yes! Okay, we have to do this quick. We have to do this quick. Alright. I discard the fossil. Summon Aerodactyl. Attack. I use the attack. It's too late for them to surrender now. Come on, come on, come on, please! No! We were so close! We were so close! We were this close! Oh! We were this close! We might still do it! We might still do it! We get another chance! I'm clicking as fast as I can. Okay, we use the attack. We use the attack. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Please. Heads. No! No way! Oh, we did it! We did it! We did it! Oh. I can't breathe. We did it! We actually did it! You were here, Sparky! Oh my goodness! In 19 attempts! In 19 attempts! We won a game without dealing any damage at any point in time in Pokemon Pocket. World's first solo Aerodactyl win. Maybe. I don't know. Like, other people have done Aerodactyl stuff, but I don't know if anyone has done it without dealing any damage. I had tons of fun using Pokedex, Hand Scope, and a bunch of noob cards to pull off one of the craziest things in Pokemon Pocket gaming. If there are other crazy challenges you want me to try, or if you've done stuff like this in the past, let me know in the comments and I'll catch you later.